Thanks for listening to FPRN. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. If you'd like to start your own show with FPRN, advertise with us, or donate to the network or to your favorite shows, check out our website at www.fprnradio.com.
Welcome back to the Big Plantation. We are going into the guest segment of our show, and that is actually our guest bringing us in right now, Tempest by Pathogenic. Very fitting title. That's exactly what that song sounds like, is a tempest. But we've got guitarist Chris Gardino on the line, as well as vocalist Jake Burns from Pathogenic out of Massachusetts on the line. Guys, thanks for joining us. How's it going?
Going good. How you doing?
Doing awesome, man. So you guys are currently backstage for a show right now, right?
Yes, sir. Correct. We are in the purple room because it's not quite green, but it's purple.
Well, I'm sure you guys could probably help make it green, if you know what I'm saying. But
we in no way support marijuana smoke here at Big Plantation.
So I'm going to assume that most of my audience has not heard of the band. So if you want to just kind of describe your music, kind of give us the rundown of what it's like, because I would describe it as progressive metal, and anybody who is a fan of the band, The Contortionist, will definitely feel right at home and should really like Pathogenic.
Yeah, we try and go for that progressive metal sound. We try and do it a little differently. We're more, I guess, like heavier metal as opposed to the more kind of melodic stuff. But I don't know. We have so many influences that it's tough to really put a spot on what our sound is. But I think progressive metal is definitely fitting for what we do.
Yeah, and I would definitely. I noticed a big difference, or I feel like there was a big difference between the full length Cyclopean Imagery and the EP, the Solipsis Dream. Where it was just so chaotic and dissident and just madness on the first the full length, and there seemed to be a bit more like structure, I guess you could say, like easier to follow on the second one. Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, we definitely went for a different direction with the Solipsis Dream.
So
we were kind of.
Go ahead.
When we first did Cyclopean, we hadn't quite had all the members in the band yet, so it wasn't a full representation of what we all at the table. As the EP Solipsis is kind of all of our input together, represented with that music. So the newer stuff will probably be a little bit more of that and maybe a little harder direction. Now that we've kind of established our sound and what we want to do.
Nice. So I've seen you guys been playing locally in Massachusetts, and I would say you guys are definitely one of the better bands on the east side, the East Coast here. I would put you guys right up there with Lorelei, who we interviewed. That's another East Coast band that I really like. But I saw that you guys came to Philly a few months back. Do you guys plan on doing any more touring, like outside of the Massachusetts area, or...
Definitely. We do plan on getting out there. It's just tough because of work schedules, and we want to make sure that the next time we go up, we do it right, and we got a new album to back it and to push. And but hopefully sooner than later. But it's tough. But yes, we do all plan on hitting the road again at some point.
Being from Massachusetts as you guys are, did you guys have your houses raided after the Boston Marathon?
No,
I live far away from Boston, personally.
Thank God.
I actually did get my...
Go ahead.
What's that?
I lived with our bass player, Dan, and we lived in this town called Lowell, and we had gotten the apartment broken into twice in 2 months, and they stole our computer that had all our recordings on it, and that sucked.
Did you do something to warrant having a warrant for your house being raided like that?
No, I mean, we called up, the police, and they said they would do their best, but, they fucking didn't do anything, so.
Yep, another day in the life of the police state. So, you said you wanted to do it right, have a new album to back any kind of out-of-state touring. Are you guys working on any new material?
Yeah, we're only halfway through the writing process, and what we're hoping is going to be a full-length. Don't really have a timeline for it at the moment, but we've been really working hard at it, making some good progress recently, so it should be relatively soon.
Awesome. Yeah, I look forward to that. And Chris, I see that you've been going all cloud kicker on us, and you're working on. Is that like a whole solo project that you're doing, like with acoustic stuff, or what is that? Just something you're toying with?
The acoustic material is something that I've been sitting on for years. I've been writing these acoustic songs over, through various times in my life. Shit hits the fan. You just, express yourself through music. So as far as that, all the material, it's just something very personal to me that, I've been sitting on, and I just wanted people to hear, the other side of me instead of, just playing in rock and metal bands. And, it's something I really put a lot of heart and soul into, and I just wanted people to hear it.
Speaking on the other side of you, Chris, I tell you, this is awesome having you on the air. Like, we haven't talked in years. We used to sit down and play Halo, and I used to listen to you play your guitar in the background, and it's nuts to see where we've come in the past 6 years.
It's pretty wild to think about it, and I always tell the guys in the band, I'm like, I used to play Xbox with these guys, and we would just fucking play for hours and hours and hours, just nonstop.
It was more than that. It was like years of our lives.
Yeah, I was basically strung out on Halo too. I beat it cold turkey though. I didn't need help.
You're playing video games right now. What are you talking about?
I am not. I am not hooked up. I don't have live at the moment. But okay, yeah, because I actually didn't even realize that you were in the band at first. I had heard the band through Got Gent, because I'm really into that whole area of the metal scene, and then I'd seen that you guys were gaining traction on there, and people were talking positively about you, and then Jamie let me know that it was you, and I thought that was crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. It's pretty funny how the world works like that, huh?
So Jake, the last EP, the Soilipsis Dream. It's a pretty interesting name. We like to talk about different philosophies and stuff like that on this show. I personally am not too familiar with Soilipsism. What was the kind of the motivation behind naming the album that? Because and correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding of Soilipsism is the idea that life is but a dream, basically. That this is all just the dream in some other being's reality.
Kind of. As I understand, solipsism is the idea that nothing beyond yourself can be proven, that anything other than the individual experience isn't something that as being real. As far as the motivation for naming the album, that when we wrote the album, I was going through a pretty tough time, and the lyrics take a very emotionally negative approach. The concept essentially revolves around the narrator going insane, killing someone, and then allowing his inner demons to continue until he dies. So it's basically like a fall through insanity towards suicide. And what I was trying to express through naming it the Solipsis Dream was basically that, that is all there is. I don't really have a really long explanation for it. I'm struggling here, but beyond ourselves, what else is there? I mean, you can be a really good person, you're gonna end up dead. You can be a terrible person, like the narrator in the EP, but he also ends up dead, and these two people end up in the same place. What is good? What is bad? What is evil? What is you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's one of the beautiful things about music is Chris was talking about how having music without words, and it could still be so very, very emotionally expressive, and that can be an outlet. And I think us as metal fans, I know me growing up through high school and stuff like that, I would get associated with like gothic kids and stuff like that just because I listen to metal, and no one seemed to put two and two together about that. I wouldn't classify metal as angry music or as something that made me angry. Instead, I would say it's a healthy outlet for these dark feelings. And Moses, this is something you're familiar with too. Maybe not with metal, but I hear like basically Mookie from what Jake here was just saying, kind of creating a character to outlet the darker aspects of our psyche and our mind.
Absolutely, that's what artists do. Artists use, whether it's consciously or not, they use life experiences and they manifest. You know, it sounds like he's going through dark times. He's wondering himself about the finality of death, and then it manifests itself through a philosophy that I was not familiar with the name of your album or your EP, but sounded very reminiscent to Socrates and Plato, which is you can be certain of nothing but your own ignorance. The only thing you could be sure of is that you don't know anything. And starting there is usually a blank canvas where a lot of lyricists or poets or writers or anything, they all start there. And then the rest is them trying to correlate the demons that they face in their life. So yeah, music is always that great outlet. And I wanted to know, because I haven't had a chance to hear a lot of your music. I just got to hear a small bit of it. What are some of your guys' influences? What kind of music? I know you said you guys got a side project that's a lot different than this, but what music do you listen to and what helped carve your music landscape?
Currently, I'm listening to a lot of Car Bomb. They're a very progressive band from New York. They play some pretty ridiculous stuff. I'm also a big fan of like Ion Dissonance, really technical metal and hardcore kind of stuff. I also like Meshuggah. Meshuggah is a big influence of mine.
Meshuggah is huge in my book too. That's what put me and everybody else, I think, into the gent movement. So, you know, what I'm wondering about is what are some of your lyrical inspirations, if you don't mind me asking? Because I know the Soilipsis Dream kind of seemed to take a more personal outlook from cyclopean imagery. So if you don't mind getting into on either album, what were some of the inspirations, whether it's, you know, a social view or a personal view, and can you give us an example of one of the songs?
Sure. Okay, well, I read a book a long time ago entitled Endgame, and it was basically discussing the insustainability of civilization and how civilization as a whole is destined to collapse based on how we operate it. And it made a really big impact on me. I started looking at things a little bit differently, you know, how we treat the world around us, how we treat each other. And it really put me into a very cynical spot. And a lot of the lyrics that I wrote for Cyclopean were based on that view. Very cynical of society, very cynical of civilization, basically arguing against it. As far as Soulipsis Dream goes, that was more of a personal experience. You know, I was going through a very dark time, and I was trying to manifest those emotions in the music, try to, you know, make it, you know, a bit of a catharsis for me. Lyrically, for the newer stuff, I've been going back to the Cyclopean thing, writing a lot about, you know, how I think that, you know, the way we're living right now is a bit, I guess, in the wrong direction.
So that's pretty much what I was gonna go where I was gonna go next. Chris, I've been friends with you for a while on Facebook. Jake, you know, I just got to start seeing your posts on Facebook, but Chris, you know, you've been talking about social issues, and I see you doing it too as well, Jake. And I remember asking you before, like, man, you're talking about stuff that's right in line with what we do here on the Big Plantation and what we post on our personal pages and stuff like that. And I said, what's going on with you? And you said, I'm waking up. Can you just kind of describe what this process feels like for both of you and what you're getting out of it and what your views are on where we are going?
Can you say that one more time? What was the question? I didn't hear that.
Well, basically, when I had asked you on Facebook in relation to some of the stuff you were posting, you know, what's going on with you? It seems like you're changing. You know, you're getting involved in some social issues and stuff like that. And you had said, "I'm waking up." To describe what it is that you're waking up to and your outlook on it.
I guess you could say that I'm waking up to the fact that we're living under a government that just lies to us on a constant basis. Everything that you're seeing on the TV, on the news, it's partially news, but they're not filling you in on everything. Yeah. They're keeping a lot from us, and they want to because they don't want you to know the ins and outs of what they're doing and what their plans are. So I guess waking up for me was just putting some opposition towards what they're doing and understanding what it is they're actually doing and trying just to get other people just to realize it. Because you get a lot of people who they just kind of follow the herd and they don't really go against the grain and try and do their own research and figure out what's actually going on in the world and they believe everything that's told to them as opposed to doing research and figuring out what is actually going on.
Yeah, definitely. And Jake, you said you're going back to some of the more I would almost call it philosophical type aspect to the writing on this album, like was on Cyclopean. What are some of the things that we can see explored in the upcoming project?
Well, currently, one of the songs we're actually playing tonight explores the idea that people, after our civilization passes, are going to be looking back on how we conducted ourselves and how we treated each other, how we allowed our civilization to run, and they're going to look negatively on that. I mean, if we look back on how we were during the Dark Ages, we scoff at that. Like, how could people be so stupid? But we're allowing technology to destroy us right now. People are getting sucked into their phones, their iPads. Children are growing up not learning social skills, but learning how to operate machines. Essentially, we're losing our ability to each other in favor of our knowledge. And I feel like if we allow this to continue over a long period of time, it's definitely going to be a very big detriment on our ability to understand each other and operate cohesively as a society. I explore in the song, the idea that when we look back on all of this, it's going to be a fucking joke. Like, everything is just going to be, how could we have been so stupid?
So you bring up a really interesting point, because that is definitely true. People are becoming zombified by the technology that we have around us, when the technology could be used for something so much more productive and positive. Which way do you think it's going to go? Because I see a duality here with and not too much middle ground. Of on one side, we see technology enabling bringing home of services that were very hard to be in the past. You know what I mean? Like, do-it-yourself bands have a lot more that they can do at home than ever before. We have access to all kinds of information to help form our viewpoints and our societal views and things like that, because we have the power of all this information on our phone. We can do a broadcast and try to have our say within the realm of the media through very simply through this technology. And then on the other side, we have what you described, people who just watch cute cat videos and all this stuff and don't really engage in it any kind of way that would promote personal growth. Which way do you see it going moving forward?
I don't really know. I see what's going on right now as a bit of a power struggle. I mean, we have the ability to communicate with anyone across the world at any moment. Instantly, pretty much. We can communicate with each other with no obstacles whatsoever. But right now, we're seeing different corporations and governments trying to get involved in how the internet is distributed to each other. And also, there's people who don't use it to full potential. I mean, in your pocket right now, you likely have a device that can access the entirety of information known to man. Instead, you're using it to look at each other's cat videos, like you said. As far as where things go, I don't know, and I'm not really willing to make any statements about that. But it's going to be. We're definitely at a turning point right now. Things are either going to go one way or another.
Yeah, I agree, and I would argue that there has got to be a substantial growth in people using this technology for good to enlighten themselves, or else the government wouldn't be getting involved, because it seems to me that the pattern of people is that the more that they learn, the more that they enlighten themselves, they find that the government is ran by insane individuals, if not an insane idea in and of itself. So I would say that there is a lot of positive growth going into that, and that is why you see the crackdown. Would you agree with that?
For sure. I mean, the government can say all they want that they're not interested in what you're doing, but it's been proven otherwise. I mean, especially with the recent NSA leaks, they're collecting everything you do and analyzing it. There is some interest there for one reason or another, and if it wasn't interest for negative reasons, I don't think they'd be, searching it.
If I say that I am having trouble sleeping in my living room, and then I go on my phone, there's an ad for NyQuil. This keeps happening. If I say I think I want to go mix some music, it says, why not be a music engineer? Come to this school. And that revelation was just dropped by Edward Snowden, the fact that they are listening constantly. The technology cage is perfectly in place, and it's not just the government. It's also corporations that are using that data then to market things directly to you, unbeknownst to you.
Moses,
and they are fed by the government.
One's because you look up too much scissor and the scissor recipes. I know this from personal experience.
I drink a lot of NyQuil, and my phone knows that somehow.
There's some corporations out there that know more about me than I know about myself.
This is true.
Yeah,
and
it was just
with
revealed
the perfect device
by
for them to get any more info.
It was just revealed by Snowden. We have it up on the Big Plantation. Is that there's still all kinds of spy programs that are secret for now that he has access to. I think it was a couple months ago where he said he'd only revealed 1% of the information that he actually had to give. But on the opposite side of that is, bands like yourself. There's we interview a lot of independent artists and bands and stuff like that, and we can assimilate ourselves to become the new media in that way. So we don't have to pay the big bucks to get onto a television station and stuff like that to promote good ideologies. And I think that puts it so much more powerful than before to be the change that we want to see.
Yeah, indeed. And that's definitely facilitated by the technological advances that we have. I mean, we're able to share music pretty freely now. And through that music, we can also share ideas. And, especially with metal, we're expressing a lot of, negative ideas and negative emotions. And I definitely think the growing frustration with the status quo is manifesting itself in metal. I mean, you see a lot of bands out there that are anti-government and, anti-now, basically. Trying to communicate their ideas through their lyrics and their music. And a lot of the fans are catching on to that, too. I mean, you've basically got a whole counterculture going on within metal.
I totally agree, and that's what I'm trying to harness here on the Big Plantation. We got about a minute and a half before the break, so anything you want to wrap up on, and where can people buy and listen to your music, which I would definitely recommend that people buy it. Their full-length album is 12 songs deep and has only $5, and their EP is also $5, so definitely go out and buy it, but anything you want to wrap up on?
Well, if you're a fan of the digital formats, you can go to pathogenic.bandcamp.com. You can download either of our albums, I believe, for $5, or more if you wish. If you're feeling generous, you can pay us more than that, and we'll gladly take it and appreciate it. You can also go to pathogenic.bigcartel.com. We have all of our merch up there. I believe we have our albums as well. We can ship them to you. We just released a new shirt. It's got the Jurassic Park logo on it. The Adventure 65 million years in the making.
I love that shirt.
Yeah. Feel like checking that shit out, you can. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/pathogenicmetal, Twitter @pathogenicma. We're pretty much all over the internet. If you want to come try to find us, our shit out, we really appreciate that.
They are 3 likes away from having 1776 likes, everybody, so make that happen.
That's another thing, too. We had an old Facebook page where we had about 5,000 likes, and we ended up getting attacked by series of spam bots. We got over 1 million likes in less than a couple weeks.
Oh, wow. You're not the only band that happened to. That's actually happened a lot. But we're up against the break. I hope you guys have a great show, and I hope you guys use your position as artists to get some of this information out, and I appreciate what you're doing. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much for having us.
Big Plantation will be back after these words from our sponsors. You're listening to FBRN Radio.
Like a bullet to the chest, I feel like I can't breathe. I love you, please forgive me.
Do you have a group or organization founded on the principles of personal liberty, health freedom, or accountable government? We invite you to check out Same Side Entertainment. Same Side is a source for activists and liberty organizations to connect with well-known leaders in today's growing movement for sustainable living, personal liberty, and sovereignty issues. Same Side has a variety of keynote speakers, debate panels, interactive web presentations, musicians, and liberty-based entertainment, as well as services for web design, graphic design, video, and photography. Same Side can help customize your event by connecting you to the best of the liberty and political world while staying within your budget. Get connected with leaders in the liberty movement like Tom Woods, Kevin Gutzman, Jack Hunter, Robert Scott Bell, Bob Murphy, Michael Scheuer, John Bush, Jordan Page, Tatiana Moroz, and many more. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and our website at www.samesideentertainment.com. Again, that's www.samesideentertainment.com. Same Side Entertainment, connecting you with the education and resources you need.
Obamacare. Fun. Cool. YOLO. At Obamacare, we believe in saying the words affordable health care so that young people will love us and sign up like lemmings. Sure, you pay 2.5% of your income in penalties, but young people don't have to worry about that because you don't have a job. Work sucks. That's why we at Obamacare want to trade your full-time job for a part-time one. So you'll have more time for fun things, like watching millionaire celebrities tweet about how affordable we are. Obamacare. Just like guys enjoy premium leather seats, so too you'll enjoy paying triple the healthcare premiums out of your new part-time salary. Speaking of guys, ever been on a mandate before? At Obamacare, we're full of mandates. But don't worry, big corporations get exempt, so you don't have to. It's fun paying for things you don't even use. Yeah, you work out, stay healthy. But come on, brah. Someone's got to pay for people who smoke, drink 85-ounce sodas, and live in a Barcalounger. So enjoy your premium hikes, young people of America, because everyone loves hikes. Obamacare. If millionaire celebrities can afford us, why can't you? A message from the White House Office of Obamacare. Propaganda to get young people to love us and sign up like lemmings.
In every age, a technology is created that upends the foundations of society. The wheel, the printing press, the internet. Now, in a world sliding into financial chaos, a new technology is changing the way monetary systems work around the world. It is called Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a new form of money, controlled not by banks, governments, or corporations, but through mutual commerce between free individuals. To learn more, visit weusecoins.com.
Well, yeah, it's getting tough out there. Yeah, no doubt. I work in home invasions, mostly. Some murder, occasional rape, if she's hot, or really bitchy. And I'm a huge advocate of gun control, absolutely. Every time I kick in a door or smash a window, I face the possibility of being shot and killed. Allowing citizens to own guns creates a hostile work environment for me and my associates. No one should have to work under those conditions. I say make them all illegal, absolutely. I mean, I break the law for a living. I'm a professional, so it doesn't really bother me. No doubt. No doubt.
Your local violent criminals work hard and put their lives on the line every time they attempt to murder, rape, abduct, or assault a member of the citizenry. They desperately need your help. With your support, there may finally come a day when a violent criminal can have his way with you or someone you love without the fear, anxiety, and stress caused by knowing there's a possibility his victim might be armed. Please show your support by voting for stronger anti-gun legislation because criminals prefer unarmed citizens.
In 1997, a high school shooting was stopped by a vice principal with a gun. In 1998, a middle school shooting was ended by a neighbor with a gun. In 2002, a terrorist attack was stopped by a school guard and a teacher with a gun. After September 11th, pilots began carrying guns to protect their passengers. Let's give our schools and teachers the same option. Sign the petition at defendschools.com.
Thanks for listening to FPRN. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. If you'd like to start your own show with FPRN, advertise with us, or donate to the network or to your favorite shows, check out our website at www.fprnradio.com.